So game week 12 has been, well, a complete disaster for me. I used my free hit, but I've scored just 28 points and I've dropped down to 484k overall. So I'll talk with you about that in this video and go through my game week 13 transfer plans. Honestly, the less time I have to spend looking at this team, the better. One piece of solace that I have in this team, right, is that I played the game my way. I do not regret the decision behind playing my free hit, picking the players that I did. I just don't think the outcome has gone my way this week. You can say in the comments it's coping and drop hate on me, whatever. But ultimately, I'm content with the decision I made. It just didn't work out for me. So yeah, like I said in the intro, 28 points, 484k overall. Here's what my team looked like. The most painful thing as well, and I'll go through the players that I removed as we go through. But I genuinely think my original team, if I didn't free hit, would have outscored this team. And I think if there's one key takeaway to learn from this is that probably playing your free hit in a single game week in particular, it just carries with it so much variance and risk, and I think I've definitely got the wrong side of it. So my defence then, I went double Bournemouth defence. I thought, oh, they got West Ham. That's a good fixture. They could keep a clean sheet in that one. And then I turned on the game after about half an hour. Well, I looked at the scores after about half an hour. Saw Callum Wilson scored a brace. So that's 6 goals in the last 2 games that Bournemouth have conceded. I don't know why I thought they were a good defence, because they're clearly not. So yeah, Petrovic with a 1-pointer. Senesi, I think, got DEFCON and an assist, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously, no, he didn't get DEFCON. He only hit 7, so he just got the assist, 3 points. Chris Richards narrowly missing out, I think, on DEFCON, but he kept a clean sheet for 6. Mukiele, I had Anderson, Joachim Anderson in my team. My original team. He was actually on my bench because I had Semenyo in there, and I was like, well, if Semenyo doesn't start, I could have Anderson coming off the bench, and that's okay. It would have been okay. Mukiele, I don't know about you though. I personally didn't expect Fulham to win the game. I thought based on how they've been this season, Fulham would really test them and might possibly get a result. I was not expecting a 1-0 Fulham win, but Mukiele got DEFCON at least. So we got a 4-pointer. Oh, Ismaila Sarr. So if you watch my deadline stream, I was 50-50 basically at times on whether I pick Ismaila Sarr and Munoz or Munoz. Munoz obviously scored and kept a clean sheet, so he got 14 points, and Ismaila Sarr got just a 3-pointer. That just, I guess, again, it's variance, isn't it? Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo, well, they're still to play. That's my one solace, and I guess, you know, Mbeumo is really popular in the game at the moment. But Bruno Fernandes, I think with him, he's probably my main hope to kind of turn this game week around. I need him to score about 5 goals, I think, to turn this around for me. Brian Mbeumo, we'll see what he does. The captaincy, I think I got a little bit lucky, to be honest, that Haaland didn't score. But going into this game week, I said it on a number of my videos. I always felt that Newcastle away would be a real test for Man City. Newcastle at St James's Park, in my personal opinion, can keep a clean sheet, beat anyone. And they certainly did. Yes, well, they did on Saturday, right? So I guess not captaining Haaland paid off, but captaining Salah did not pay off. And annoyingly, I actually had Saka in my original FPL team, and yeah, he got DEFCON. So despite Salah, you know, not doing anything, just Saka getting DEFCON made him probably a better captain. So if I just wanted to go against Haaland, I could have kept my original team and captained Saka. Oh, I've seen Thiago and Mateta. I wanted to spend the minimum amount of time looking at this team. So the graphics are the wrong way around. Obviously, Thiago scored, missed a penalty. Mateta blank, so they're the other way around. Thiago's a bit of a beast, isn't he? I wanted to bring him in. I'm pleased with my decision. I feel like I'm unlucky with the fact that he missed the penalty. And in fact, I've had, in the last 2 FPL game weeks, 3 players miss penalties in my FPL team. It was Semenyo and Haaland last week, and Thiago missed one this week. That's probably all there is to say on that team. But yeah, a disaster of a free hit in game week 12. I just want to put it behind me. All right. Well, here's my team for game week 13 as it stands. Obviously, because I played my free hit, all of my transfers that I made reset. I did do a midweek move to do Gabriel to Van Dijk. And I'm quite glad. The only solace, I guess, that I can take from my free hit is that transfer got reset because I used it. So I don't have Van Dijk staring at me in my team, which I'd probably be disappointed with after game week 12. I've still got Gabriel, though. I need to work out what to do with him. I've got Semenyo, and to be honest, I don't really mind keeping him. I've gained so much value in him since I bought him, so I serve to lose a lot of money if I sold him. And also, I think he's going to be fine for game week 13. It sounded like it was just illness that kept him out, so he should be good there. And then you can see at the bottom, we'll go with that next. We'll talk about Haaland. So I think the reason I free hit in the main in game week 12 and not 13, I think 13 will be a popular time. I've already made a free hit team if you want to see that. But I think Haaland Leeds at home is the best fixture he's going to have this side of game week 19, which means it's probably the best time to use the triple captain. And I have a look at the other players for projected points as well this week. And Haaland, I think, has in game week 13 the highest expected points total. This is according to Solio, and there'll be a link to access Solio in the description. But this is the highest expected points figure I've seen for any player this season, I think, on their tool. So I just think the stars are aligning personally for me to triple captain Haaland. Now, of course, there's Champions League midweek. Haaland, who do Man City have? They've got, I can't remember who they've got in the Champions League, but they've got a Champions League game midweek. So I'm not going to lock in my triple captain or anything yet. We're going to see how he gets on in the Champions League. Obviously, anything could happen in that one. But I think should he get through the game unscathed, I think I'll be triple captaining Haaland this week. I just wanted to quickly talk to you about the FPL Cartel. Myself and my good mate FPL Tom have started this little joint venture in an exclusive Discord, basically, where you get private access to the two of us for advice on your FPL teams and just overall general FPL chat. I'm really enjoying being a part of it already, to be honest. We've got a really nice community in there, and it's already helped me a little bit with my own FPL game, some of the good people we've got in there. As part of the Cartel, you're also going to get yourself an exclusive weekly podcast involving the two of us. So if you're interested, you can join the Cartel on a month's trial basis. So we're offering you 30 days for a free trial. You can do so using the link in the description below. Right, so I've still got Gabriel in my team, and I think that's going to have to be the first thing that we cover on this video, isn't it? What do I do with Gabriel? Well, I look at the upcoming clean sheet odds, right, to help me come to a conclusion on who I pick as a defender. And for me, there are four teams, I'd say, standing out in terms of upcoming clean sheet odds. Moving to another Arsenal defender, Manchester City, Liverpool. I think after that performance against Forest, we can safely say I don't want to pick Liverpool defenders. Newcastle, I think at home they're good. Away from home, not so good. That would be my thoughts on Newcastle. Maybe Chelsea and Man United as well. And then one team I really like on top of that is Crystal Palace. I think the Crystal Palace defence could be really good. So we talk about all of that, right? I think... Well, we'll talk about the Crystal Palace defence first. My top asset, if I were to sell, I think, Gabriel for a Crystal Palace defender, I'd buy Chris Richards, save myself like 2 million, and then upgrade my team elsewhere. So I could probably do like Enzo Fernandez to Mbumo, for example, if I did Gabriel down to Chris Richards. But then that would leave me with double Crystal Palace defence, and they're playing Man United this week. So that's the only thing to think about. The other consideration is just to pick another Arsenal defender. They're just so good defensively. And let's be honest, in the game against Tottenham, the only goal Arsenal conceded was as a result of losing the ball rather than actually defending poorly, if that makes sense. Their defence just looks pretty much unbeatable at times, right? And their clean sheet odds coming up are really good. And I look at the two alternatives that I would personally pick instead of Gabriel, Saliba, and I think I'd look at Timber as well. Those would be the two. So, replacements for Gabriel. Just go back to Gabriel and my team. I think it'll either be Timber, who's very close to him in terms of price at the moment, be Timber or Chris Richards. That'd be my gut feel on that. You'll look at my team for game week 12, or 13, sorry. I just want to get game week 12 out of my head. And you'll notice it's got Bruno Fernandes, but it's missing an additional Man United midfielder, right? Bryan Mbumo is growing in popularity in the game, I'm sure. Well, he was the most popular transfer in for game week 12, and it wouldn't surprise me, certainly if he scores against Everton tonight. I'm recording this on Monday morning. He's going to be even more popular. But for me, I can't get to Bryan Mbumo in one transfer because it would involve selling one of I'd have to get rid of Saka. I'd have to get rid of Bruno Fernandes in order to do it. Semenyo, his sell price for me, I think, is about 7.5 million. So I don't have enough budget to do that. I just don't have a way to get him. So I think, unfortunately, up until AFCON, I'm going to have to hide behind the sofa every time Man United play and hope that Bruno Fernandes outscores Bryan Mbeumo, I think. However, that's Bryan Mbeumo. I just don't see a way that I can get him in my team, really. But another Man United midfielder I could get into my team is Cunha. Now, there's a heavy rumour that he could be out of action for the game against Everton today. It looks like he just picked up it could, head injuries are no joke, but it looked like it was a minor sort of head thing that he picked up in training, I think it was. I think even if he misses the Everton game, he should be back for game week 13. And I think the good thing about Cunha, is obviously he doesn't go to AFCON, so you'd like to think that when Mbeumo goes, Cunha's going to pick up a little bit extra attacking responsibility. And also Sesko's injured, isn't he? So you'd like to think that that means Cunha plays as the number 9. So with all that in mind, I think Cunha could be a good addition to my team as well. The way I'd get Cunha in, that is a tricky one though, because I'm not exactly sure how I make that happen either. I look at my team, I think the only way I get Cunha, to be honest, is if I sold Semenyo. And I'm in two minds as to whether that's a good decision, because Semenyo, he's not done so well in the league recently. He obviously missed game week 12 with illness. I think he's recovered from his injury, that's not a problem. And I would also question those 3 or 4 performances he put in where he amassed like 0 XG, basically did nothing. I wonder how much of that was down to his injury. Some of it was down to Kruppi Jr., I think, being a different sort of striker to Evan Nilsson, bringing other players into the game less, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that could be a move, though. That could be a move. It could be Semenyo to Cunha. I could do that. So I've been absolutely trolled by Enzo Fernandez so far this season, which probably means that if I sell him, he's going to go on to score in pretty much every game, that he plays in the future. But I'm looking at Igor Thiago at 6.5 million now, I think. So we'll leave it there because I did this on Sunday night. He's probably gone up to 6.5 at the time that I'm recording this video, but I can still afford him. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at Enzo Fernandez in my team there, and I'm thinking, he's got Arsenal, but then he's got Leeds and Bournemouth away. I just don't want him in my team anymore. And I look at the rest of the sort of 6.5-ish million midfielders in the game. I fell over with Ismail Assar in my free hit this week. I'm asking the question, do I actually want to replace Enzo Fernandez with another midfielder? And I'm looking at Igor Thiago as a replacement. Now, I've got Kruppi Jr., who's sitting on my bench at the moment, like a minimum price forward. I could swap him for someone like a Josh King or Freddie Potts. And then, I could swap Enzo for a Josh King or Freddie Potts and then swap Kruppi to Igor Thiago, for example. Now, I do like Igor Thiago as an option, no doubt about it. He's Brentford's penalty taker. Brentford have had a lot of penalties. If I can count, he's had maybe 4 or 5 penalties this season. Ridiculous. But Brentford are a team, historically and this season, that win more penalties than the average team. So I wouldn't worry too much and get too carried away, because I think he's a player that's going to pick up a lot of penalties this season. I do worry a little bit about the fixture in game week 14 against Arsenal. The fixture in 13 is great, Burnley at home, but Arsenal away is quite tough. I guess I have enough flexibility in my team where I could bench him if I wanted to do that. I just can't ignore him. And I think he's better, like I said before, I think he's better than midfielders that cost the same money, if that makes sense. But he's not the only one at that price point. Got Danny Welbeck as well, who's got decent fixtures. On penalties, I think, too. Scoring really well this season. Played in every game so far. The only thing that would worry me about Danny Welbeck is he's not got the best historic record for injuries, and the Premier League fixture congestion gets a little bit ridiculous over the next few weeks. There's midweek deadlines and all sorts going on, and that would worry me. It would make me worry about Danny Welbeck playing every game, whereas I do think I'm a little bit worried about the Arsenal game, but the one thing I can pretty much surely say is that Igor Thiago is going to play every game for Brentford, probably for 90 minutes. So that probably gives him the edge over Danny Welbeck. I think that could be my transfer in. So we'll go back to my team and summarise what my potential plans could be. All right then. So should we get no heinous injuries in the, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but dodgy injuries in the Champions League or training or Man United injuries, whatever, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Gabriel onto Timber, and then I'm going to make 2 free transfers beyond that. So I'll use my full allocation of 3. I'll get rid of Enzo Fernandez and Krupi Jr. And I'm going to bring in, I don't think I need to lose any sleep over this decision yet, one of Freddie Potts or Josh King, 2 minimum price midfielders, and then Igor Thiago from Brentford. That's the way I'm thinking of playing it, right? Because, yeah, they've got Chelsea away of Arsenal, but, I mean, come on, they could definitely keep a clean sheet in that game. And I just look across at the rest of the game and the players available in the game that I'd want to pick defensively, and there just aren't many. You know, you could go for the Man City defence, but I don't think they're as good as the Arsenal defence, and they don't really get any DEFCON. I think Timber's the one to get, so I'll do that. So yeah, hopefully that puts me in a decent place for Game Week 13. What I am a little bit worried about then is other managers that are free hitting and getting an overtake on me, but it is what it is, right? I mean, do I regret playing a free hit? Probably not. I just think I've got really unlucky on the outcome, and that's one thing I would warn you with if you are on a Game Week 13 free hit is be prepared for it to backfire, because you're betting on, you know, usually when you pick an FPL asset, you're betting on them over the course of sort of 4 to 5 game weeks, but when you're using a free hit, it's one, and you're like entirely reliant on 90 minutes of action. It's like sports betting basically, right? I don't do it because it's so uncertain. That's what you're doing basically. So I just wanted to bring that up, I guess. All right, well, that is the end of the video. Feel free to laugh at my expense in the comment section about my free hit so far. It is what it is. I'll take it on the chin. You know, I'm happy. I'm always going to be open about my rank and how my FPL team is doing. I think it's, you know, hopefully you appreciate me being authentic about it. I can take a bad FPL game week on the chin, no problem. What was I going to say? Yeah, if you've got any other suggestions for my team, let me know in the comments. I think that's probably the best way to play it, though, based on the workings I've done. But yeah, if you've got any other suggestions, I'd be interested to hear it. Leave a like rating on the video if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. It should be just there on your screen. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.